Hi everyone, my name is Timothy Paul Brown. I'm Curator of Education at the Montgomery Museum of Fine Arts. And this is part two of why museum education. Well, we need museum education because it's what makes museum collections and exhibitions accessible to a broad and diverse audience. And how is this done? Well, it's done through various different programs and tours, but it's also done by using specific types of teaching models, specifically inquiry-based teaching models that engage students, get students to look closely at works of art. One model that's very popular is visual thinking strategies, or VTS. What's nice about this model is that you don't have to be an art historian to use this model to engage students about works of art, because the key is being a good facilitator. So how does this happen? Well, you begin by asking an open-ended question or divergent question: what's going on in this painting? This is a very important question to ask because it opens up the field for a lot of possibilities. It's very different than what Paulo Freire would call the banking deposit approach to education, where the educator is giving out a lot of information in advance. Information that students may not be able to readily identify with or even understand. The way to get students to really understand a work of art is getting them to understand it through their own perspective and getting them engaged, thinking about what it is they're actually looking at. So when you ask the question, what's going on in this painting, you can imagine that you're going to get a wide range of responses, which is great. That's what you want to begin with. Now, in order to be a good facilitator, you have to ask good questions. So the second question you're going to ask is, what do you see in the painting that makes you say that? Now that's important. That shifts things a bit, because now, instead of coming up with ideas that are coming to, say, a student's mind spontaneously after looking at a work of art, they now have to find evidence to support their observations. This is where the learning experience really becomes richer and a lot deeper. For example, if they're looking at this painting by Paul Cézanne and you ask the question, what's going on in this painting, a student may respond by saying, well, I see two card players. The card player on the right appears to be losing, and the card player on the left appears to be winning. Well, when you ask the question, what do you see that makes you say that? Now the student has to find the evidence. So you say, what do you see in the painting that makes you say that the card player on the right is losing and the card player on the left is winning? Well, the card player on the right is slightly drooped. You really can't see his cards. His eyes are squinted, suggesting that he's a little hesitant about what move to take next. The card player on the left, on the other hand, is a lot more confident. He has a pipe in his mouth, so he's a lot more relaxed. So you kind of get the idea. Students are searching for meaning in works of art, and they're finding evidence to support their conclusions. And what's exciting is you're repeating the students' remarks so that all the other students can hear the remarks as well, and that encourages them to make remarks as well. And I would say 90% of the time, or 90% of the students who are involved in the discussion are more apt to respond to works of art as opposed to, say, 2 or 3 students who happen to be, the smart ones in the class who you're accustomed to speaking out. In this case, everyone's going to want to participate. Everyone is going to want to be involved in the discussion. Another important question you want to ask is, what more can we find? This allows students to continue to probe the subject deeper, looking even more carefully at works of art. Inquiry-based models are important. Information is important. But you also want to give students an opportunity to become engaged with works of art on their own, to learn things on their level, to think critically about works of art. And you can best believe they will develop a better appreciation for what art has to offer, not only in terms of what museums bring to the table, but it enhances their own personal life as well.